Netflix has become the go-to platform for entertainment, from comedy to drama and documentaries. While the streaming service offers a wide range of informative, thought-provoking, and eye-opening documentaries, some are incredibly disturbing and downright terrifying. Here are the top 10 disturbing documentaries if you want to watch something guaranteed to keep you on the very edge of your seat. The Keepers. The Keepers is a gripping true crime documentary about the unsolved death of Sister Kathy Sesnick, a Catholic nun who taught at a school in Baltimore in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The documentary follows a group of former students who are determined and eager to uncover the truth about what happened to Sister Kathy and believe that her murder may be connected to a network of sexual abuse and cover-up within the Catholic Church. The documentary features interviews with the former students, as well as with family members of Sister Kathy and other individuals connected to the case. It also includes archival footage and photographs of Sister Kathy and the school where she taught. The documentary raises important questions about power, corruption, and institutional betrayal, and shines a light on the resilience and determination of abuse survivors. While the documentary has been criticized for its use of sensationalism and potentially casting suspicion on innocent individuals, it has also been praised for its thorough investigative journalism and for bringing attention to an essential and largely overlooked chapter in history. Overall, The Keepers is a powerful and thought-provoking documentary that exposes the dark underbelly of the Catholic Church and the devastating impact of abuse and cover-up on survivors and their communities. The Confession Killer. The Confession Killer is a true crime documentary that explores the life and crimes of Henry Lee Lucas. Lucas was a drifter and claimed to have committed over 600 murders in the 1980s, making him one of American history's most prolific serial killers. However, as the documentary reveals, many of Lucas's confessions were false and coerced by law enforcement in exchange for favorable treatment. The documentary also sheds light on the criminal justice system's failures at the time, including the lack of proper investigative techniques and the willingness to accept confessions without corroborating evidence. The documentary features interviews with law enforcement officials, journalists, and family members of Lucas's victims. It also includes archival footage and photographs of crime scenes and victims. The documentary is a chilling reminder of the power of manipulation and the criminal justice system's flaws. It raises crucial questions about the reliability of confessions and the need for greater scrutiny of law enforcement practices. The Confession Killer has been praised for its in-depth research and compelling storytelling, but it has also been criticized for its disturbing graphic content and portrayal of violence. Overall, it is a haunting and thought-provoking documentary that will leave viewers questioning what they think they know about justice and the human capacity for evil. Abducted in Plain Sight. Abducted in Plain Sight is a chilling documentary about Jan Broberg, a young girl kidnapped twice by a trusted family friend. The documentary reveals how the kidnapper, Robert Berchtold, manipulated and brainwashed Jan and her entire family over several years. Berchtold's actions include sexual abuse, forgery, and even an elaborate plan to kidnap Jan to Mexico. The documentary features interviews with Jan and her family, as well as with law enforcement officials and experts in child abduction. It also includes home videos and archival footage that add depth and context to the story. The documentary is a disturbing and cautionary tale about the dangers of grooming and manipulation, particularly of vulnerable individuals and their families. It highlights the importance of recognizing warning signs and speaking out against abusive behavior. While the documentary has been criticized for some of its portrayals and lack of focus on the psychological impact on Jan, it has also sparked meaningful conversations about child abuse and the need for more outstanding education and awareness. Overall, Abducted in Plain Sight is a powerful and emotional documentary providing a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in plain sight. The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. The Trials of Gabriel Fernandez is a heartbreaking documentary about the mistreatment and murder of Gabriel Fernandez, an 8-year-old boy, by his mother and her lover. The documentary follows the court proceedings against the perpetrators, including the trials and sentencing. It also delves into the social and political factors that contributed to Gabriel's death, including the failures of the child welfare system and the prevalence of child abuse in low-income communities. The documentary features interviews with Gabriel's family members, teachers, and social workers, as well as with legal experts and advocates for child welfare reform. It also contains disturbing visuals and video material that some viewers may find difficult to watch. The documentary has received widespread acclaim for its candid and unflinching presentation of the catastrophic effects of child abuse and neglect. It has also sparked meaningful conversations about the need for systemic change in how society responds to child abuse and neglect. While the documentary may be challenging to watch, it serves as a powerful call to action for individuals and communities to recognize and address the issue of child abuse in all its forms. Ultimately, the trials of Gabriel Fernandez is a powerful and moving testament to the strength of those who fight for justice in the face of unimaginable tragedy. Don't Fuck with Cats. Don't Fuck with Cats is a true crime documentary that follows a group of internet detectives trying to track down a man who posted videos online of himself torturing and killing cats. The documentary explores the disturbing world of online communities and the lengths that some individuals will go to gain attention and notoriety. The documentary features interviews with online detectives who work tirelessly to identify and locate the perpetrator, and with law enforcement officials and journalists. It also includes footage from the perpetrator's videos, which may disturb some viewers. The documentary raises important questions about the power of social media and the internet, and how online behavior can impact the real world. It also sheds light on the significance of community and collaboration in solving crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice. While the documentary has been criticized for its graphic content and potentially glorifying the perpetrator, it has also been praised for its compelling storytelling and for highlighting the often overlooked issue of animal cruelty. Overall, Don't Fuck with Cats is a thought-provoking and disturbing documentary that offers a stark reminder of the potential dangers of SNS and the internet, and the importance of standing up against cruelty and violence in all its forms. The Devil Next Door. The Devil Next Door is a gripping true crime documentary about John Demyanjuk, a retired Ukrainian-American auto worker accused of being Ivan the Terrible, a notorious Nazi death camp guard. The documentary follows Demyanjuk's extradition to Israel and his trial, which lasted for several years and attracted international attention. The documentary features interviews with Demyanjuk's family and survivors of the death camps where Ivan the Terrible was alleged to have worked. It also includes archival footage and photographs of the atrocities committed during the Holocaust. The documentary raises important questions about justice, identity, and the legacy of the Holocaust. It highlights the complexities of prosecuting war crimes and the difficulties of determining guilt in cases with limited physical evidence. While the documentary has been criticized for its one-sided portrayal of Demyanjuk and its sensationalist approach, it has also been praised for its powerful storytelling and bringing attention to an important chapter in history. Overall, The Devil Next Door is a compelling and thought-provoking documentary that sheds light on the dark legacy of the Holocaust and the ongoing efforts to bring justice to its victims. American Murder: The Family Next Door. This chilling true crime documentary tells the story of the Watts family murders, in which Chris Watts killed his pregnant wife Shannon and their 2 young daughters in 2018. Shocking details about the murders and the subsequent investigation are revealed through body cam footage, social media posts, and other media. The documentary also shows interviews with friends and families of the victims, as well as with law enforcement officials and legal experts. It raises crucial questions about domestic violence, mental health, and the impact of social media on our lives. The documentary is notable for its unique approach to the true crime genre, focusing less on the investigation and more on the impact of the murders on those who knew the victims. While the documentary has been criticized for potentially glorifying the perpetrator and for its use of graphic imagery, it has also been praised for its emotional honesty and for bringing attention to the issue of domestic violence. Overall, American Murder: The Family Next Door is a sobering and disturbing documentary that offers a powerful reminder of the devastating consequences of domestic violence and the need for greater awareness and intervention. Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer is a disturbing true crime documentary that depicts the story of one of America's most notorious serial killers. The documentary explores Dahmer's troubled childhood, his descent into a life of crime and murder, and the subsequent investigation and trial that followed his arrest in 1991. The documentary features interviews with law enforcement officials, attorneys, and surviving family members of Dahmer's victims, as well as with Dahmer himself in a rare jailhouse interview. It also includes archival footage and photographs of Dahmer and the crime scenes where he committed his horrific acts. The documentary raises important questions about mental illness, sexuality, and the limits of the criminal justice system. It also offers a chilling reminder of the terrifying potential for evil within human nature. While the documentary has been criticized for potentially glorifying Dahmer and its graphic depictions of violence, it has also been praised for its balanced approach and nuanced portrait of a troubled individual. Overall, the documentary Jeffrey Dahmer is a chilling look into the mind and life of the serial killer and the devastating impact of his actions on his victims, their loved ones, and the larger community. The Social Dilemma. The Social Dilemma is a thought-provoking documentary exploring social media's dark side and its impact on society. The documentary features interviews with prominent tech industry insiders who helped build some of the world's largest social media platforms, as well as with experts in psychology, sociology, and ethics. The documentary contends that social media firms exploit their users for financial gain by creating algorithms designed to keep users hooked and interested. This has far-reaching implications, including the rise of addiction, depression, and disinformation. The documentary also raises important questions about privacy, surveillance, and the role of technology in shaping our lives. While the documentary has been criticized for oversimplifying complex issues and its dramatized depictions of the algorithms at work, it has also been praised for its ability to spark meaningful conversations about the role of technology in our society. Overall, The Social Dilemma is a powerful and timely documentary highlighting the need for greater awareness and regulation of technology increasingly shaping our world. It serves as a reminder of the unintended effects of our reliance on social media and the critical need for greater openness and accountability in the technology industry. Wild Wild Country. Wild Wild Country is a captivating and provocative documentary series that delves into the rise and fall of the Rajneeshpuram community in rural Oregon in the 1980s. The series chronicles the controversial movement led by Bhagwan Shree Rajneesh, a charismatic Indian guru who attracted thousands of followers worldwide. The documentary features interviews with former members of the community, law enforcement officials, and residents, as well as extensive archival footage and photographs. The series delves into the complex dynamics of the movement, including its emphasis on free love, its embrace of alternative medicine, and its controversial use of political power. The documentary raises important questions about religious freedom, community building, and tolerance limits in a democratic society. While the series has been criticized for its selective use of footage and its portrayal of specific vital figures, it has also been praised for its in-depth and nuanced exploration of a fascinating and little-known chapter in American history. Overall, Wild Wild Country is a must-watch documentary series that offers a unique and compelling perspective on the complexities of human behavior and the power of belief. Finally, the documentaries covered in this article are not for the faint of heart, as they dive into some of the human conduct's most unpleasant and uncomfortable elements. They provide insight into society's darkest corners and pose critical concerns about the nature of evil, the boundaries of justice, and the impact of trauma on individuals and communities. While some may criticize these documentaries for their graphic depictions of violence and their potential to sensationalize true crime, they also serve an essential purpose in shedding light on overlooked or ignored issues. For those interested in exploring the darker side of human nature, these documentaries provide a sobering reminder of the complexity and fragility of the human psyche and the urgent need for greater awareness and empathy in our society. Ultimately, these documentaries offer a powerful testament to the resilience and strength of survivors of abuse and a call to action for all of us to do better in creating a safer, more just, and more compassionate world.